When I began ranking the fastest cars of 2025, I realized this isn't just a list, it's a timeline of engineering ambition. Each machine represents a different philosophy of speed, a different belief about how far physics can be pushed before it pushes back. And the deeper I went, the more I realized that speed is no longer just a number, it's a personality, a structure, a system of choices. So let me take you through the top 10 fastest cars of 2025, from the ones that redefine acceleration to the ones that stretch reality itself. Number 10, McLaren 750S. I begin with the McLaren 750S, a car that doesn't shout about its power, it demonstrates it quietly. When I get behind the wheel, the first thing I notice is the clarity of purpose. The 4.0-liter twin-turbo V8 produces 740 horsepower, pushing me from 0 to 100 km per hour in 2.7 seconds. But what stands out isn't the launch, it's what happens afterward. The car feels like it's sculpted around me. Every input from my hands and feet feels amplified but controlled. The carbon fiber structure gives the 750S an agility most cars only pretend to have. When I climb past 200 km per hour, the aero channels start working like invisible assistants, directing air with precision. Near its top speed of 332 km per hour, the car still feels balanced, clean, and readable. It sets the tone for this list: speed without chaos. Number 9, Ferrari SF90XX Stradale. Next comes the Ferrari SF90XX Stradale, a hybrid supercar that blends the best of electric response with combustion intensity. The combined power surpasses 1,000 horsepower, and the result is immediate acceleration, so quick that 100 km per hour arrives in 2.3 seconds. When I accelerate, the electric motors fill every gap while the engine pulls harder the faster I go. Ferrari's active aero makes the car behave like it's glued to the earth. As I edge toward its 340 km per hour top speed, the car remains composed. The steering stays tight, the chassis stays awake, and stability never fades. Every part of this machine works in cooperation. It doesn't feel like two different power sources, it feels like one unified force. Number 8, Rimac Nevera, 2025 update. Then comes something that feels like it escaped from the future, the Rimac Nevera. With 1914 horsepower from 4 electric motors, this car reshapes what acceleration means. It reaches 100 km per hour in 1.9 seconds, faster than most people can comprehend. But the real surprise is what happens at speed. Most electric cars lose composure as the numbers rise, but the Nevera becomes even more stable. The cooling system adjusts constantly, the downforce shifts intelligently, and the car stays collected even when pushing toward 412 km per hour. There's no drama, no fear, just precision. It's a reminder that electricity isn't the future of speed, it's already here. Number 7, SSC Tuatara Final Edition. Now I step into American hyperspeed territory, the SSC Tuatara Final Edition. With around 1800 horsepower and a frame shaped for minimal drag, this machine feels like it was engineered for another planet. At lower speeds, the car is impressive. But at higher speeds, it becomes something else entirely. The longer the acceleration continues, the more the car settles into its rhythm. The aerodynamics carve through the air with almost no resistance. The gear ratios feel like they're designed for endless forward motion. Whether or not it achieves its controversial claimed top speeds, the engineering potential is unmistakable. It's a car that feels like it wants to chase the horizon until the horizon moves. Number 6, Koenigsegg Jesko Absolute. Then I reach the car that treats aerodynamics like a language, the Koenigsegg Jesko Absolute. With up to 1600 horsepower and the astonishing light-speed transmission, the Jesko accelerates like nothing else. There's no lag, no moment of hesitation, just continuous thrust. The Absolute's long-tail design reduces drag so dramatically that its predicted top speed is 531 km per hour. The moment I push the throttle, the car delivers power with mature stability. Even the slightest steering adjustment feels smooth and confident. It doesn't vibrate, it doesn't drift, it simply moves with purpose, like it's designed to slip past the limits of human expectation. Number 5. Hennessy Venom F5 Revolution. Breaking into the top 5, I meet raw American aggression in the form of the Hennessy Venom F5 Revolution. The 6.6-liter twin-turbo V8 produces 1817 horsepower, but it's the power delivery that surprises me most. It doesn't explode forward like many hypercars, it surges with an unstoppable, rising force. At high speeds, the Venom F5 feels incredibly stable thanks to its track-focused aerodynamics. The car remains tight, responsive, and firm. When the speed climbs beyond 350 km per hour, the car still behaves like it's only warming up. With projections close to 500 km per hour, this machine demands respect. It's not a car you drive casually, it's a car you work with, almost like controlling a highly trained beast. Number 4. Lotus Evija X. Sliding into the 4th spot is a demonstration of electric control, the Lotus Evija X. Producing nearly 2,000 horsepower from its quad-motor setup, this hypercar is more about balance than brute force. The downforce is astonishing. When I take a corner at speed, the car doesn't just grip, it holds the road like it's shaped around the track. The torque delivery is perfectly even across all 4 wheels, giving me confidence to push harder with every straight and every curve. Even at 350 km per hour, the Evija X feels planted, solid, and technique-driven. It's a reminder that speed isn't just created through power, it's maintained through engineering discipline. Number 3. Aston Martin Valkyrie AMR Pro. The 3rd spot belongs to a machine that feels like it was smuggled out of a racing prototype program, the Aston Martin Valkyrie AMR Pro. Everything about it speaks the language of motorsport, its aerodynamics, its interior, its posture, and its hybrid V12 producing over 1150 horsepower. Driving it feels like being plugged into the car. The downforce presses the chassis into the ground with incredible force, and the steering reacts to even the smallest movement. At full acceleration, the car feels alive. At high speeds, it maintains a calm bravery that only true race-focused engineering can produce. When I pass 300 km per hour, the car feels even more confident, more balanced, more stable. It's not just fast, it's precise, surgical, and intensely responsive. Number 2. Bugatti Bolide. Then I arrive at the Bugatti Bolide, the last roar of the legendary W16 engine. The quad-turbo powerhouse produces more than 1850 horsepower while the bodyweight is shredded to extreme levels. The result is performance that borders on unbelievable. The Bolide's aerodynamics generate huge downforce, but the design cleverly keeps drag under control. The car remains grounded even at extreme speeds. When I accelerate, the power builds with a smooth but terrifying consistency. It feels like the engine was designed to operate at speeds most cars never reach. Bugatti built this machine to show what the W16 could do when freed from luxury and focused purely on performance. And it proves itself at every kilometer. Number 1. Bugatti Tourbillon, 2025. Finally, I reached the peak, the 2025 Bugatti Tourbillon. A naturally aspirated V16 paired with 3 electric motors creates over 1800 horsepower. But numbers alone don't define this machine. It's the way everything works together. When I accelerate, the electric motors deliver instant torque while the V16 stretches the power band into something long, smooth, and controlled. The aerodynamics shift actively, stabilizing the car even past 400 km per hour. The chassis remains confident, the steering stays sharp, and the entire car feels like it's thinking faster than I am. Its projected top speed of about 445 km per hour doesn't feel like a stunt, it feels like a statement of intent. The Tourbillon isn't just the fastest, it's the most complete expression of what hypercar engineering will look like for the next decade.